Alright everybody, welcome back to the Red Vibe channel and welcome to the very first episode of The Covered End. I'm very excited. This is going to be a brand new Charlton talk show, Charlton fan show I suppose, here on the Red Vibe channel, and we're going to be uploading an episode every single week on Thursdays or Fridays, basically before the Saturday match day, most weeks in League One. And you can see we've designed a nice little layout here. Hopefully you guys enjoy this sort of layout. We got some news and some transfer news over here. We got a little bulletin below. And of course, shout out to the members on the channel as well who helped me justify keeping being able to do this kind of stuff. So shout out to the members club. And if you do want to become a member, just click the join button, have a look at the tiers and all that good stuff. But today, our very first topic on the covered end is going to be obviously the low-hanging fruit, I suppose, which is the pre-season that we've just gone through ahead of the 22-23 season. This is probably going to be a slightly more negatively charged video and talking about some of the alarm bells, some of the problems, and we'll also do another sort of more positive video because there are positives, there are negatives. I see a lot of Charlton fans on Twitter getting a bit carried away with either, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. That's the honest truth, guys. And so we're going to hopefully display a sort of balanced view here and just be honest, really. And I definitely want you guys to get involved down below in the comments, so let me know what you think of some of the stuff we talk about, and we'll feature some of the comments on the next episode potentially, and we'll also do live versions of this chat show as well. So let's get stuck. Oh, by the way, just quickly want to mention that potentially the elephant in the room for some people who know me from before videos, Charlton vlogs and videos I've done before, and also from Twitter and whatever. I'm not going to be talking about like my employment with the club. I have just left my employment with the club. And I'm not really going to be talking about that. Maybe in the future we'll go over some stuff in like a Q&A, but I'm going to be focused purely on being a fan now. This is a fan show, and I'm just going to give my honest opinion as a fan, and that's that. So let's talk about the topic at hand, which is Charlton's 22-23 pre-season, including transfers, including how we played and all that kind of stuff, and we'll give a little overview of a few talking points. So there's a few alarm bells right now for me, and I'm going to talk about one of them, which I think, in general, I suppose you could call it the defence problem. I think we have a very weak defence at the moment. We're vulnerable. There's teams that I see competing in League One, Sheffield Wednesday, Ipswich, MK Dons, even some of the relegated sides, that I just think have a little bit more in defence, look a little bit less vulnerable than us. And I'm going to talk about my opinion on why I think that. And by the way, let's acknowledge this is before a ball's been kicked. I could be wrong. I could eat humble pie. I'm sure you guys have your own opinions on this before a ball's been kicked as well. That's the beauty of football. We've all got opinions, and most of us get proved wrong at the end of the day. So I'm going to zone in now to this one thing that's been kind of on my mind, and that is the fact that we kept Ryan Inniss and let Akim Fanwo go. Now, I think a lot of people prefer Inniss to Fanwo. I'm not one of those people. I think both defenders have their merits, but I think there's a real player in there with Akim Fanwo, and I think he'll end up playing at championship level and potentially beyond. And that's just what I think of Fanwo after watching him for 2 seasons. I really like the guy. And we've let him go. We had him on loan last season, 2 seasons, in fact, in a row we've had him on loan, and we had a buy clause in his loan agreement in the season just gone, and we didn't take it up. And by the way, I know that Fanwo didn't play as well last season as he did the season before. I know that he made a couple of errors. But overall, when you're watching this guy, he was one of the only players who, at points, would take a good touch, would calm things down, and would try and play a positive pass. I get why people like Inniss, I really do. I think he's an old-fashioned centre-back who puts a good challenge in. He's a stopper, isn't he? Wins headers, he's a big geezer. And he gets stuck in, and that's, I think, why he resonates with a lot of people. But let's talk about another side of Ryan Inniss, and that's the fact that he's averaged about 13 to 15 games per season throughout his whole career, more or less. He plays about a third of the games maximum for whatever club he represents, and certainly in a Charlton shirt, it's been no different. That's what we've seen. And yeah, he's good. He is a good player, but he's going to be playing a fourth quarter, I should say, of the games, probably, if the pass is anything to go by. Now, I think potentially this could be Thomas Sandgaard backing himself from his medical background, that perspective. He's obviously brought in this new equipment to Sparrows Lane, and maybe he just backs himself that he understands Ryan Inniss' problem and he can get it fixed, I suppose. But here's the other issue, right? And again, I acknowledge that Akinfenwa didn't necessarily have his best season last season, but if you go on something like who scored and look at his stats, passes completed per match, tackles won, aerial duels won, I guarantee you, him and Ryan Inniss are going to be pretty much identical stat-wise. And in fact, Akinfenwa, I imagine his passing completion would be a little bit less, but that's because he tries to play a lot more positive, maybe longer passes than Inniss. But here's the issue, right? There has been a massive narrative from the club saying that we are this pressing, attacking team now. And we've seen a lot of that from Ghana, and that's fine. I like that. I like having a clear identity and a clear vision. Everybody steering in the same and driving in the same direction. I like that. But if you keep Ryan Inniss and let Akinfenwa go, keep players like Stockley and let go players like Washington. By the way, I like Stockley. Don't get me wrong. I think he's really good. But that doesn't necessarily scream pressing, attacking football. We've got very slow defenders now. We lose a bit of pace with Fanwo. The new player, O'Connell, looks decent, looks a leader, but he's come from Rochdale, so he's got a lot to prove. He's slow. He's slow and clunky. He does play good passes and stuff like that, and he is a good defender, I think, from what I've seen. But I don't think that we've got any defenders in our squad right now, centre-backs, I should say, that are as good as Fanwo. So I think we're one or two centre-backs short, and ball-playing centre-back short, I suppose, because that's the kind of style we're going for now. Probably a left-back short as well. I mean, we've brought in Ryan Sessegnon, who's a left or right-back. He's our number 2 as well. You can see over here, the squad numbers will be showing up from time to time, which shows he's probably brought as a left-back but can cover it at right-back. But we have no left-backs. We let 3 left-backs go last season. Soiree, Castillo is loan finished, and Purrington went. And I think we wanted to keep Purrington, but maybe just didn't quite work out. And now he's gone over to Ross County, where Ashley Maynard-Brewer actually spent a period last year. And then also the other thing, just as a more general point, by the way, incomings here, over on the, I'm putting the wrong way again, but you can see over here that we've brought in 6 players. One of them's a loanee, and we've let go here of 11. There'll be 11 players there, 10 if you obviously exclude Maynard Brewer, because he wasn't with us last season anyway. But we've reduced our squad size by 4 players. That's a net loss of 4 players in terms of squad size, and we'll probably bring in 1 or 2 more loans, but judging by what Ben Garner said, it's like we'll let someone go and bring someone in. And it looks like that player, if rumours are to be believed, may be Jake Forster-Caskey, who's been given the number 8 jersey. To me, that would be mental. I mean, if you talk about the Charlton squad right now and think of players that just, you look at the team sheet and you think, right, he's got a bit of star quality. I'd say Forster-Caskey's the first player that comes to mind. You probably have a little bit of that with Sessegnon now because he's come from a bit of a higher calibre of player, although he is young. So that's to, the jury's out. You probably think Stockley is a specialist in his area. He's a big guy. I do like his hold-up play. He wins headers. And he's a good finisher, poacher. I think you could make the argument that he's got star quality, and then Anike as well. Anike definitely has star quality, but with Anike, he's picking up those injuries again all of a sudden. And it seemed that there was a point in time towards the end of his first spell with us, Anike, where Bowyer and Jackson, both of whom are no longer here, nor are his staff, Jason Yu, etc., they managed to get him in this routine of being able to stay fit, whether he had to drop to the bench once in every 3 games or whatever. They got him going, and he scored a lot of goals. And it seems like lately he's been picking up those injuries towards the back of last season. He's already picked one up in pre-season, and hopefully they're just niggles, but this guy's injury prone. That's the fact of it. So yeah, obviously we need another striker, and we'll probably get that on loan, but I think these are sort of alarm bells when you compare the messaging from the club being we're playing this attacking, pressing football, and then you've got now a load of these sort of slow guys who, with the exception of O'Connell, don't really fit. And I'm just talking about the attackers and defenders here, by the way. I don't know why I'm grouping them together, but I am. I'm not talking about the midfield. Like players like Stockley and Inniss, you would imagine if this really is our philosophy now, that you'd probably keep Washington and you'd probably keep Fanwo or buy him. So that was probably a financial decision. So maybe there is something to be said that there is sort of an aggressive sort of cost-cutting approach going on at Charlton right now. But let me know what you think about that. And I think pretty much that is my main concern at the moment. Our defence, I think, overall is weakened compared to last season. And bloody hell, our defence wasn't very good last season. And I really hope they prove me wrong. The other thing just to touch on a little bit is that our squad's probably a little bit inexperienced with top League One level players. I think, again, you look at the same players, Forster-Caskey, Anike, Stockley. Beyond them, you don't have much experience coming from above where Charlton are right now. And I think you need that blend of players that want to prove themselves, which we've got plenty of. Even Blackett-Taylor, Jayasimi, some of the players we signed this season have come from League Two, McGrandles, even Jack Payne. Scott Fraser is another one. Like, he's never played higher than League One level. And if we are going to get rid of Forster-Caskey, which is rumoured, and keep Scott Fraser, I like Scott Fraser. I think he looks good. But Forster-Caskey, I think, is our best midfielder. And he's been at the club. He knows the culture. He knows, I say the culture, it's kind of changing, isn't it? But he knows the club. And it would be a shame to see Forster-Caskey go. So yeah, I do have a little bit of concern about experience. I think we need a few more players coming from above us than below us to get that blend right. And then the last thing I want to say is that probably the manager is a little bit inexperienced for what I would have hoped for when we were, spending quite a while looking for a manager. Now, I like Ben Garner. I like what he's been doing on the pitch to a certain degree. I don't think he's proved much yet. But in terms of his style, it looks good. And it looks positive. And at the moment, he seems very calm, cool, collected and modern as well in his interviews, which I like. However, when things go wrong and when we inevitably go on a 2-3-4 game losing spree or non-winning spree at the very least this season, how's he going to handle that? Is it going to be... Because fans will get on his back. Fans of any club will get on his back. So that's going to be a very interesting test for Ben Garner. Anyway, I think I've probably gone on for quite a while here. I want to keep these videos between the 8 and 10 minute mark. I might have gone over, but I'll learn. But yeah, this is going to be episode 1. We are going to move towards a more positive mindset in the next video where I talk about some of the things that I really like that I've seen over the last few games. The pre-season, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So, guys, let me know what you think of the new show. Let me know anything you want to see on the layout, anything maybe new, different. And of course, if you are interested, do click the join button and have a look at those memberships. It really helps me. Again, like I said earlier, like kind of justify to be able to make this kind of content and spend my time doing it. And hopefully we're going to get something really good going this season and just tune in and have a laugh with it and just be Charlton fans, which is what we all want. So guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much to everybody who watched. Please leave a like on it as well, and I'll see you in the next one. Oh no, we need a tagline. All right, how about this? The covered end. We've got your Charlton news covered. Just thought of that. That was quite good, I thought. Let me know what you think. Guys, thank you again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Up the attics.